It's Hip Hop Nation. You on the wake up? Your boy Torae is here. I feel like I just saw this man. Cause I just saw this man, but I see JD all over the place. JD, I know a lot of people talk about being outside and say they outside. JD, you be outside though, JD.
Yeah, I'm outside.
You outside, man.
Yeah.
Well, how you keep that same energy? Just like making sure you move around and really in the places where the music is made and played.
Well, I mean, hip hop to me is an outside sport. I don't think you can know or have a voice in hip hop if you're not outside. I don't think that, you can have an opinion if you're not outside. I think that's what's wrong with hip hop now. There's too many opinionated people that are not outside, and they should be outside if they want to have these opinions.
For sure.
So
you gotta be in the mix.
Yeah.
And if you're not outside, you should be inside Magic City.
Yeah, at least somewhere there.
You know what I mean? Something like that. Let's segue into that, man. Obviously, the documentary. We briefly spoke about it. I just saw JD, just to let everybody in on the inside. I just saw JD red carpet for the VMAs, and we briefly talked about the importance of documentary like Magic City and the importance of a place like Magic City. So let's just get people a little bit of backstory on what Magic City is and why Magic City needs to be talked about.
Well, Magic City to me is like our version of Studio 54. It's a club that ultimately it's a club, but it happens to be a strip club. And so you have so many different things that's happening in this club at one time. You have the men that come, of course, to see the dancers. Then you have the celebrities that come to spend money and just have a good time in a space where other celebrities are doing the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. And then you have the music where the inspiring rappers or R&B artists or whatever it is, they're trying to see what the masses feel about their music prior to them putting it out. Right. So it's like a live A&R club. Only thing that's not happening in Magic City is people dancing like they're at a dancing club. And, I mean, I might be speaking too soon because this might be happening too.
It's definitely some dancing in the lap.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely some dancing.
We don't have really a lot of lap dances that much anymore. That's one thing I wanted to do with this music is kind of bring back the lap dance because that's kind of disappeared.
Word. So we talked about it, right? I put the footage up from the red carpet, and then I got a response, and I want you to respond to this response that I got because I thought it was interesting, and I didn't necessarily know how to answer it, and so we're gonna pull this up, Hip Hop Nation. What I got was a message from Chris Latimer, who's done a lot in the culture.
Wait, that's who that's from?
That's from Chris. Now, I thought it was ironic coming from Chris because obviously he's partaking in just the culture in numerous ways. Obviously he's got his black college hoodies, but I think when they were selling these hoodies and T-shirts, they was making their rounds to all of the different functions, the Freakniks and things of that nature. So Chris says, talking about Magic City like it's iconic doesn't make sense. Strip club culture destroyed our communities worse than crack because it indoctrinated not only those with addictive behavior, but it indoctrinated business people and grandmothers, plus it destroyed the integrity of hip-hop. I did not grow up in strip club culture. I'm a New Yorker. We have had strip clubs here, but I know that is a Southern thing. That is a thing that's reserved for Atlanta and Florida, and then just parts of the South. So for me, I never grew up going to strip clubs. I maybe been to like 3 in my whole entire life, and that's even as a professional artist and as a media personality and all of that. So when you hear something like that, what are your thoughts on it?
One, I'm taken aback because it's Chris Latimer. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. But then I'm paying attention to strip club culture is as damaging as crack, right? Does he say it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how that's even possible, right? Because strip club culture is so connected to the South and Southern culture. And Southern culture was so unaccepted in hip-hop for so long. I'm trying to figure out at what point did it destroy anything. Because, the crack epidemic came before strip club culture was popping.
Right.
Everything else has come before strip club culture. So I'm not really sure what he's saying by that. I mean, he might be going He might be talking to us about something internally that we don't know. But if you're not from the South, I don't know how it's ruined anything, right? Like, I can't see that it's ruined anybody in New York, right? I think that
I'm good.
yeah,
Crack definitely hit harder.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't see how that statement is like. I don't see how it's accurate. I would definitely have to hear what he's talking about, because destroyed is a very, very serious word. And then he uses it destroyed hip hop. And that sounds like you don't like Southern hip hop to me, because all it is the music. The music of the strip club is Southern hip hop. It's nothing that now maybe that might be what he means. He might be saying that this music became so powerful because it had clubs behind it, that this is the only rap music that hip hop has become just this.
Right.
And I could see what he's saying by that. I was at Starless last night, and I didn't hear no Jay-Z. I ain't hear no Locks. I ain't hear no, Benjamins. You don't hear Biggie at the strip club. So I could see. I don't know if that's a destroying, but I could see where a New Yorker would say this, because you don't hear the New York on quote unquote music in this space.
For sure. I remember in a previous conversation we had, you said that you were kind of responsible for the sound of New York radio changing and for Southern music getting played here. Ultimately, that becomes what most people are making in the sound of more popular music now. I would love to give you an opportunity to kind of expound on that as well, because a lot of people say that now when you come to New York, you be hard-pressed to hear, like you said, even in the club, you be hard-pressed to hear any New York artists or a very limited amount of New York artists. But you specifically said that you were the catalyst in changing that.
Yeah. I was the president of Virgin Records, and I was here in New York. I was living here. I had, street team at Virgin, and I was pretty much moving around like I move around now outside, and I was promoting what started at Arista. It started with the Young Bloods and Bone Crusher. So ultimately, it started with. Matter of fact, it really started with them. It started with Bone Crusher and the Young Bloods, where Hot 97 started playing the Young Bloods record Damn on the radio in regular rotation. And prior...
You made that happen.
Yeah, prior to... us and everybody. I was the vice president of the company. Prior to that happening, Southern records like that weren't on the radio, Hot 97 on primetime radio. You might have had like T.I., who had even like T.I., I think T.I., to me, T.I. had to do a record with Swiss to actually get into this space. Right. What you know about that, I don't know. I mean, it probably was, but I don't recall it being...
A lot of those records was relegated to mix show, quick in and outs, but not rotation.
Not rotation. Damn and Bone Crusher
Never Scared
Never Scared became regular rotated records on Hot 97. And at that point in time, I started hearing K. Slay say crazy things about Southern music.
Rest in power to the Drama King.
Rest in power to the Drama King. I just watched the climate change, and it was like, and you have to be here to know what I'm talking about. To be in New York and listen to New York radio and understand how drastic that was to hear the Young Bloods on Hot 97 in the middle of the daytime is not something that was like normally accepted.
Not at all.
Right? So, like I said, I could see where Chris is probably saying that, because once the music is very infectious, right? And once it affects the area, everyone is affected.
Right.
And I think that's what he probably means by that, because at that point, the Dipset started making records that sounded like down south records, and Jewel started making records that sound like down south records, and French Montana damn near sound like he was from Miami at some point. Like the sound of New York just kind of like walked on out the building, you know. And
Dipset is such a New York staple too. But yeah, they definitely expanded their sound, you know. But still with New York appeal. With
yeah,
New
had
York
the samples in there,
right?
But it's still the drums started sounding like the South,
it all starts
right?
with the drums.
And when I say I take responsibility for that, is because I've always been trying to infiltrate New York with Southern music.
It was your plan.
That is, I mean, but it's never been a situation where I wanted to destroy the platform. I just wanted to infiltrate it because I wanted to be a part of it.
No doubt.
It looked like people was having so much fun here with hip hop. I wanted to be in it, right? So I made a song with Jay-Z so I could be in it. I put Busta Rhymes, Cameron, and Jadakiss on a Never Scared remix so that I could infiltrate Hot 97. This was a born out plan, like flat out. And I felt it worked. It started working. You started hearing these records at regular time. And then also, Lil Jon had the same mentality. Lil Jon put Big Cap on his album. And, you know, a lot of these records, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like, we all basically was infiltrating the space that we looked at as like was holding us out, and we was trying to figure out how to get in it. And we got in, and once you get in, like it's hard to stop it.
Yeah, the game definitely changed after that point. I remember, you know, I would travel down for spring break and spring bling and all of that, and we would always come back up north with records because those records didn't make it all the way to New York. You know what I'm saying? Like those records we ringing off at all of the parties and at everything that was happening in Atlanta, everything that was happening in Florida, but it wouldn't, like you said, penetrate the local radio, the terrestrial radio here. And so me and my friends, when we travel, we would put people onto those records. So to really see it to happen in real time, where these records started to infiltrate, you know, not only mix show, but then primary primetime radio. And now you'd be hard pressed, like I said, to find a New York record. Unless you're listening to the tour guide, it's Hip Hop Nation. We're going to get some music popping. JD is here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I do want to play that turnaround joint, man. We'll get into that. We're going to talk more about Magic City and everything else you need to get into. It's Hip Hop Nation. You on the wake up. Hip Hop Nation, Jermaine Dupri is in the building. JD, I just recently saw you, like I said earlier in the conversation, VMAs, Mariah Carey gets the Video Vanguard Award. Just someone who's continued to reinvent herself, push the envelope, recount when they try to count her out, and you've been such an intricate part of her success and her career. And I guess the second portion of the Mariah Carey that we know, you know, from the pop darling to the streets favorite. When you see her get recognized and you just see MC getting these flowers, just talk to me about how it makes you feel and knowing that how involved and intricate you are in that story.
Well, I mean, you know, first of all, I'm not that intricate in creating anything besides music with Mariah. She's been Mariah Carey. I think she sold damn near 20 million records before I even ever worked with her. Right? So, you know, she didn't.
That was on the other side, JD.
Yeah, but she ain't need me. She didn't need me.
Fair point.
She didn't need me. I just added flavor to the plate that was already a full plate. And I'm just happy that she, you know, accepted me to be a part of the plan, or just, you know, take me along for the ride. So to see her perform my music that I did with her as if it's her best work, is exciting. Just on it, that in itself is just like amazing to me. Like, cause she could do other songs that she has. She don't have to do my records. It ain't big records, but she got bigger records. And she chooses to do my songs as if they are the ones, right? That's,
we know they're her favorites, though.
That's flattering.
We know they're her favorites.
I don't know that.
They our favorites. We know they're her favorites.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, she's had such a career. I don't know what's her favorite song. You know what I mean? I think it's the newest heat. And she acts so much like a rapper. She's just gravitates towards whatever the newest heat is. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if like what her favorites are.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely done not only a lot of our favorite Mariah joints, but a lot of our favorite joints overall, man. And that is why you are in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. What is that accolade? And you have many. I mean, I've been to the studio. I've been to Southside. The walls is there's no more. Build more walls. There's no more rooms for any more.
We got a couple of walls in the back.
Yeah, it's no more walls for accomplishments there. But I feel like Songwriters Hall of Fame is something special to you because as I've been paying attention to you and just hearing you talk about your journey of how you became a songwriter, how you learned on the fly, how you had to develop it, how you had to give Crisscross something that they wanted to rap before they would do a rap, to see where you are in 2025. Talk to me about that particular accomplishment.
I mean, just being named the #1 producer of the 21st century by Billboard.
Crazy.
In 2025, starting in 91 and 92 with Crisscross is pretty mind-blowing because it's like I would have thought that if I could have made it, it would have happened a long time ago. Not, I guess people look at me in my latter years as well. And I think sometimes people think that my greater years was the 90s. It's proven now that my greater years was the 21st century.
Right.
So I mean, that's mind blowing because I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't actually. I just been working. I wasn't thinking that like, oh, I'm trying to get #1 or whatever. I'm just working, man. I'm trying to be great. And I know it's a lot of other people out there that I look up to that I feel like I haven't caught, like Jimmy and Terry,
Legend.
Quincy Jones,
Legend.
Babyface.
Legend.
Even my, Teddy Riley, these guys, I feel like they still are in front of me. And I'm just like the little brother that's like trying to, get in the game.
You in that ethos now.
Yeah.
You in that conversation.
I listen, I respect it and I welcome it.
Yeah.
But I still look at myself as like, these guys it just seem like people treat them different.
You on the radio right now though.
Okay.
Pressure is right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like division is right now. Like this is, and there's no disrespect to nobody else because obviously we respect all the legends and all the greats.
Yeah.
But you have had eras in different multiple decades and generations and still going crazy.
Yeah.
Like we belong together is right now. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was a minute ago. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's everything is really in the moment. Magic City,
100%.
turn around. Let me get through the preliminaries because I want to talk because everybody gonna ask you about that shit. Last thing, songwriting, right? As a songwriter, not a ghostwriter, but as a songwriter, I saw something recently where the brat was talking about Give It To You and just saying how she wanted to go party. You and Chris ended up making a record. Obviously, she records the record. She's a rapper. She's a writer. She delivers the record. It's a stellar record. But she just talked about, wanting to go party and not paying attention to just being in the studio and working on music. What I took from that conversation was even one of our dopest MCs had someone work with her on the music and wasn't afraid to recite rhymes in a song that was written for her. Whereas so much talk about ghostwriting and songwriting, especially as it pertains to the ladies, your thoughts on songwriting as a whole, is it taboo in hip hop? Obviously not to you because you've done it, but just talk to me about why you feel that stigma is there and what if you needed to convince the brat or anybody to allow your pen, to take over and do what it needed to do to make the song what it is.
I think songwriting or rap writing is only in existence when you're trying to gun for the greatest rapper of all time. Like when you're trying to claim that position, then you letting somebody write your raps doesn't make you the greatest rapper of all time. Other than that, if you're trying to just make good songs.
No, look at the camera, JD. Say it to who you talking to, JD? Who you talking about, JD?
I'm just saying, other than that, if you are trying to just make good songs.
Great songs.
And you got a homeboy in a room that got a good idea and it sound good on the beat that's playing loud in the speakers. And what you're coming up with don't sound like that. But you might take that and then it inspires you to come up with another part.
Right.
I suggest that you do it. This is not, you don't get no credit for keeping it real. I don't think people understand that, even though you should. But we are way past just the Keep It Real awards, right? You trying to stay so real. Ain't nobody gonna know you. Let somebody else write beside unless you tell them. And if the song becomes a hit, who gonna care? You gonna care? Well, why would you care? You gonna make the same money you would make if you wrote it, but you know you did right. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, it's a songwriting thing. I think that rap has always been a thing where we want. Hip hop, definitely. Hip hop has always been a thing that wanted the respect of R&B, wanted the same respect as rock, wanted the same respect as pop.
They want to follow those rules, though.
But the rules change when it comes to hip hop, and I think it only applies to those that want to be the greatest rappers of all time.
No doubt. I appreciate that. Jermaine Dupri is here, Hip Hop Nation. Magic City, Magic City, Magic City.
Yes.
Turn around, turn around, turn around. What's the date on the soundtrack? It's out right now, right?
Yeah, it's out.
Out right now, so make sure you get that documentary. What else is happening in your world, JD? I know you got Division. Are you signing them? I really wanted to talk to you about Scooter and what's happening with So Def, but we only got so much time, so you got to come back.
Yeah,
you got to pull back up.
So Division I dropped 2 weeks ago, 2 songs, a 2-pack, Division 2-pack. Just to let everybody know they are a
2-pack of songs. It's not Division with a Tupac verse. Just clear the shit up, JD.
Yeah, 2-pack. I dropped 2 songs. Excited and Love on You, and just to like give y'all an introduction that this is the Division So Def era, and it should be different. And I want you to listen and take this in differently than you have prior. Because I'm going to make sure you know who they are. I'm going to make sure you understand the music. And we're going to put it in everybody's face. And we're going to try to make hits for that, that put them in a space that they haven't been in.
No doubt.
Other than that, Ari Lennox's next single is called Vacancy. I did that. I got, I'm doing what I do, man. I can start.
Y'all know what this is.
I can start rattling it off, but yeah.
Just stay tapped in, JD. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Anytime I get a chance to sing your praises, give you accolades, tell you that you are, because I know you're a very humble icon, but you are that. You are that. You are those. You are the guys that you looked up to. You the guy that we looking up to now.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Magic City, Magic City, Magic City.
Yeah.
Let's get the turnaround right now. It's Hip Hop Nation. Yo, that Division and Jagged Edge, like, keep doing those.
Okay.
That shit crazy.
All right.
That shit crazy. It's your tour guide. You on the wake up.
Yeah.